And we are live. Welcome on YouTube. This is Randy and my brethren, Dominic,
What's
aka
up?
Elix. We're here in Jamaica just having another sesh, and today's topic is on the note. Last night while I was streaming with Jackie and even heard about it from Mr. Sparks, so bless up to Mr. Sparks. So I'm glad that you missed it and that you're safe. There was a shooting in Las Vegas, Nevada, where from what I heard, from what I'm seeing on the web, we have 60 dead and 515 injured. To me, that is a tragedy that we need to really and truly talk about this and see what's really going on in this crazy world. So bless up, thanks for being here. At any time you like the video, you can sure hit that thumbs up, subscribe, is in the chat, whatever it be, just having a good vibe, smoking weed and just talking about the issues of life now. And this is a serious issue. Bro.
What's up, YouTube? My name is Dominic. This guy's best friend, and just here to talk about about life, things in the world, and my prayer goes out to all friends, families, relatives, biggest tragedy, and I feel it straight in my heart right here. So, with that being said, let's just try to,
come together,
and just be one unit and just talk about it and see what really is right now.
Yeah, after so many shootings, bro, something we need to find the trend. What's really breaking these people?
What's in the water? What's in?
Forget, which I would never forget. I mean, Ninja, chaotic in the place. Bless up, chaotic.
Walk on, brothers. Walk on.
Yeah, man. So we're gonna light up. So cheers, everybody. I'm just going to talk about this because, as I said, and anyone in the chat, just be free to share your views. We're both looking in on it, and we'll be dropping the link in the chat so that you guys can join at any time. This is an open discussion. We really going on. This is not the first time I'm hearing shooting and mass chaos in the States and hard. I have friends now in the state. You guys are family. You guys are friends, and afraid of waking up one day hearing that, oh, there was a shooting there, and I'm like, okay, somebody did something crazy, and then I'm hearing that one of my YouTubers or one of my friends got gunned down. That to me is not a way to be living. Wherein if your friend, your loved ones are gonna die at any moment, or you yourself are gonna die at any moment, we should not be living in this fear. Go on, Leslie. Go on, bless up everybody in chat. Go on, Sean, 8033, Tim S420, Leslie, bless up, Ned669, bless up.
Welcome everybody.
Welcome indeed. Yeah, Ned was talking about something the other day. Regarding his grow license in Canada. I think it's in Canada. Remind me if it's in Canada, Ned, if you're located in Canada. But he has basically 18 days left on his grow. So with that, it's a big mess. He's trying to see what can go down, and they are apparently stopped processing the applications. And bless up Robert, right? Bless up another place, brother. But okay, we don't care if you're late, just as long as you make it.
Enjoy the stream.
Ned is in Canada. Cheers.
Cheers.
That was doing great, man.
Oh, Tim was watching the Jackie 420 and so see. Yeah, that's where I heard about it. Like Keza was bringing it up that there's some shooting going on, and when he brought up the video, I am an army person. We were in cadets while we were in high school. We know what a fully automatic sounds like, and that they are beat hard.
He had a vendetta against someone. No joke, no lie, straight up. Went to kill.
Straight up.
straight up, man.
But pass the ashtray.
That wasn't even a vendetta. That was just plain scrutiny.
Yeah.
That was,
No.
that was okay. Fuck my life. I'm ready to see exactly how far I can take this, and let's go.
You want to see how long you
take control over that, saying that they had a piece of that. That makes no sense.
No, you know, honestly, this may sound a bit savage. If I had a sniper rifle and I was like 600 feet away, oh, you push out your head, bam,
dead straight up.
No, in honestly, not saying that violence is the right way. Some people need to be put down. Some people really need to be assessed in what we're actually. Them guns, for God's sakes. Chaotic just informed me of how many guns and type of guns that he had. Go over the list again, Chaotic.
It was an M9, an M4, an AK-47, 2 rifles, and a large amount of grenades. What's going on, Jackie?
I'll go on, Jackie. I'm going to drop the link in case anyone wants to jump up. Bless up, everybody. There's a bit of a lag. I can't get to be in live.
Welcome to Panel Sun Grown.
What's up,
Sun
fellas?
Grown,
Come in. I want
Oh,
to
Sun
say hello,
Grown.
my friend. Cheers, brethren.
Okay, good note from this sad topic. Not 3, but 4 of your seeds just popped up. Out of the 10, so 4 out of 10 pushing up, and we're looking at some more.
Nice.
Well gone, Sean. Well gone, everybody. So yeah, we're talking about what's going on.
Be right back.
And
All right, man.
yeah. It's to me crazy. Friend last night, Sparks stated that he was literally 5 minutes away. Like he missed it by 5 minutes. That to me, nah.
I'm
with mustard.
yeah, we got really lucky with our 420 community that's up there in Vegas. Everybody's safe so far. Everybody's checking in. I think everybody's safe.
Last night I literally was checking on. I have some people in Vegas that, I mean, they're just random friends. I was buzzing the living Jesus, trying to ensure that they're okay and everything, because I'm lost for words. Because image kind of hit me. Image of a young man literally covering. He's down on the ground above the lady. Heard. That's military training. In the case of anything, you will cover. You can think you can get a shot right here and you're good. In the back, you're good. Certain areas. Stray away from the kidney. You get shot in the kidney, then you have 2. So hopefully they'll never shoot you and kill them. But
yeah, and he was really far away too.
Don't judge distance with a shooter.
Yeah.
Bad shooter. Because it's not the case that he's far away. He's spraying bullets.
Yes.
So anyone is liable to be caught.
Man.
Bill was obviously trained. It wasn't like he was just ran off into the crowd.
He was aiming.
Well, I think the VA hospital that takes care of veterans needs to take care of the veterans and actually assess their level of sanity or not, and people that have guns. You know, I think it's a clear issue.
Yeah.
If we're all at war, because there's a war on drugs, we're all at war, and then we're all at war, then sometimes I don't know how to describe it besides just saying we're all at war a whole bunch of times, which is horrible, but you know what I mean? They say unexplainable. You go to Las Vegas, you could lose money. I mean, there's so many reasons in Las Vegas, though, and that's not an excuse. That's That's all those reasons that you can't. That's freedoms that you get to go and do, gamble, prostitution. The mob is there, you know. So part of me is also thinking there's all these guns and the mafia actually act like they protected people. I don't see that happening anywhere, you know.
Anymore. Back in the day, the mafia, like, you get the concept. I love documentaries and research and just learning. Gangs were established to protect the communities. Most of the time, the gangs are there to ensure that, because we grew up back in the days, it was villages. Some order had to be maintained. So that was the gang. Nowadays, the gangs are not really protecting anymore. Because trust me, be a guy there, two tools, they would be swarming that hotel because they either have back door key or somebody at the waiter just let them in. Confusion in your territory.
The way,
Because
I mean, unfortunately, the way that he got in is the color of his skin, and he just walked in with a bag because he looked rich enough. Because I couldn't even really afford a Mandalay Bay freaking hotel room and all those guns. So you want to lay it down like that? The guy had enough money to be crazy too. You know, it's not like some thing to do what he did. And you know, let's put it down on people that have money, that they can be crazy too, not just, oh, you're poor and that's why it happened. No, he's in Las Vegas. You go there to have fun and spend your money and do whatever you want. This guy ruined that kind of thing. So there's a lot of events in Las Vegas, and if some of my friends got off by someone like that, man, it would really frustrate me for the rest of my life. You know, there's always that kind of thing in people's lives anyway, and each one of us have struggles and things that have been taken from us, and you've had experiences with other people that have taken a life or have had friends that have died or loved ones that have died, then there's no real reason for this. And I think it's someone that hasn't had any of that in their life that then translates, I need to go have some sort of that feel in my life, and then boom, off themselves. And I think it's sick. You know what I mean? I really think that's part of it. If you're like a wimpy person, you play video games all your life and you haven't ever shot a gun and you've never actually got punched in the face or ever defended yourself, you don't understand hurt. And that's why this kind of stuff happens. So you can't shelter people for their entire life too. And I think that, you know, I see this goofy white guy is all I'm trying to say, and I'm not trying to make it one way or the other. But look at this guy, his eyes are closed and everything. I have one picture. It's just
regardless of color, bro. Regardless of color, creed, you could be white, black, Asian. Share disregard for human life. Share disregard for
like in my
people.
city, there was someone that this Asian guy goes to another place and offs this Muslim, and it's a cultural melting pot where I'm from. So it really affected that culture. Is one culture on another. And it was like directed in that way, and like, so hate crimes are everywhere, and it comes from the differences people put up instead of understanding we're all one.
Bro, look at my skin color. I'm black. Celtic is black. If you're a color side, what's the barrier?
Let me say in one context. Let me say we all.
The barrier is money. That's where that barrier comes into play. The barrier comes in with money. With money, that barrier actually sets you apart from everybody else. If you have the money to get this stuff, they don't care. They turn the blind eye. But as soon as you don't have the money to be buying all this stuff, and you're getting it off the streets, or you're getting it from somebody who's got it in a trunk, or somebody who's gotten it off of the back of somebody's truck or something.
So,
they look at that like, oh, okay, it's stolen, so the person really didn't have the money to go get it.
That you highlighted a real point. Right now in Jamaica, the Firearm Licensing Association is being investigated.
Yeah.
People that have guns that are not registered, guns that have not been checked in. a lot of one of the barriers, one of the thing is money. Once you have money, it's like, oh, you're free to mess up this world. Don't worry, you pay for it afterwards. You can't. No, you can't pay for a life.
Bring someone back with money. That's fucked up. Let me say it as it is. That is fucked up. Straight up.
Money can't bring back life.
You can't bring back life with money. No matter how much you spend, you can never get back a life with money.
We're not seeing that. Most people think so, yo, because I'm set a certain way. That's it for them. The share there's a God for life is painful. And this is not the first time I'm seeing it happen in America. That's why I'm somewhat hesitant to visit the States, because if it's not, oh, somebody's gonna randomly shoot me, the police are gonna shoot me.
I don't know. I've seen videos of Jamaicans though too, where the cop comes in, grabs the Rasta, and shoots him in his head.
Okay, so that's here at Jamaica.
You know, like I'm scared of Jamaica too, because you go there, you know what I'm saying, and it looks like the cop would grab you and shoot you in the head. In the past.
Like, I think the police force needs to be retraining sensitivity. Because the other day I got stopped and I was treated like a criminal. And because one, I sound somewhat American at times. They're like, you're deportee. I'm like, all the things to call me. As if I'm a US resident coming down to spend time in Jamaica. That would be a better question to ask me. I would actually like answering that.
No, that's plain disrespect right there.
So the police is one thing.
Well, definitely in the late 60s, Michael Manley and the whole political parties that were splitting up down there in Jamaica, there was definitely some violence towards the Rastafarians.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yo,
Michael Manley and I forget the other political guy. There was two of them.
Never Buster.
Never was. It wasn't Buster.
No. Michael Manley did there. And this is something that we should have known, because growing up.
Yeah, remember Bob? Bob did the song. Bob did a song with him, and he got them to come together. I think it was right after Bob got shot. He got these two guys to come together, and he was in between them, and he had them both shake hands, and they hated each other, but Bob got them to shake hands.
Like,
but there was a lot of violence down there. Yeah.
Oh, everywhere is violence. I'm not gonna dispute that. There's violence everywhere. There are bad people everywhere.
It's just the different way. Some people do it on a major scale. Some people do it on a low scale. Like
if you have a dispute with somebody, just have it out with that person. Why bring in individuals that bystanders walking by, trying to go home, trying to realize? Yeah, and Ned said, dude, ignorance is out of control these days. I feel it's why I'm so scared about my paper running out.
I think ignorance is coming together with alcohol and also the other speeds that are in life, you know, and other hard drugs make people hard, you know, and we got to face the facts that these then turn people into not having a fine definition of what is pain and not pain. You're taking painkillers, or you're like a numbskull if you're taking coke or whatever, so you're going to walk around, and even if he was not that way, maybe he's chemically imbalanced. So you have to understand people and say it clearly.
I want people blame on the substances. Is like giving them a excuse.
Well, I mean, common sense too. Common sense is gone. Like if he made these, he's making guns like bread. If he's smart enough, you know what I mean?
Yeah, outside back of your yard too. It's not that hard.
Sean.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Sean,
yes.
I like your pipe. It's Nice. I like it. Yeah, I like it.
You like my vibe?
Yeah, that is cool, man.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah,
I'm gonna say for.
I like the Rasta and I like
I'm gonna say.
Jamaica a lot.
Yeah, we're straight for. So I must tell you, I like your vibe. I like your vibe.
Funny enough, we were just looking at the bamboos that we're gonna cut for the chalices. We finally got the location on the clay in motion for this week. Major manufacturing.
I have bamboo in my backyard.
Oh, nice.
You know, I was talking about
nice one.
I think it was Loyal. Loyal was like, why not do a live stream with it? So making the bamboo chalices for anyone that got bamboo in the back of the yard that wants to do something.
These are what we use for chalices, and
wow,
I like them because they know.
And it has a nice taste.
Yeah.
What I did with a couple of these, I had them dry with some pimento leaves, so the pimento taste and flavor is still on them.
Yeah, and it still smells them.
Oh yeah, because like I was sucking up terps with those other ones, right? Like the bamboo ones, the tips.
Yeah, how are those, by the way? I know Randy got some a while back.
Yeah, I think they got stopped at
the
border because they got the turkeys in them.
Ah, I see. Oh,
so I haven't gone anywhere.
I was making pens. I was making pens out of my bamboo. You know, like writing pens.
Yeah, that's cool. What a great idea.
But I have them like any size. I have them different size, but mine has like the D shape, like like you said, the deep shape or the D. But that's good for your finger right there, for it to be flat. And then some of them have this hook at the end. It kind of looks like a butt, which is kind of funny. You can make little butt characters or whatever, like little booties.
You know that when you put it right there, that's where you can grow the bamboo from. Those little nodes, those little bumps.
You can replant those, and it comes back up.
Oh, that's the node. Oh, I see.
So yeah, I just cut it off.
You can get bamboo.
Yeah. I was working at this wood shop for a while, but I just now work at this art collective where he has a consignment shop, and then there's a glass blower and a barber. But there's also a workshop down the street, and that's what I was working on the bamboo with. So, what part of Jamaica do you guys live in, Randy? Like the Creole, or like there's like this shape like this, and
we're down south.
So more south.
We're more south.
In the central of Jamaica. Central.
It's basically central of Jamaica. We're in Manchester, Mandeville.
Deep down in Jamaica, Mandeville.
So
yeah.
You guys know you can bring anything there and grow everything in Jamaica, and like famous people went there and retired?
We got some sun-grown trichome seeds. We got some seeds from Jordan of the Islands. Growing first in Jamaica and the first growing here.
Nice.
This is the first time they're ever growing here. The godbuds are coming up.
Like he took a whiff of the godbud plant and it's just like small and it's kicking off a high odor
already.
Yeah.
Right now because it's raining on slowly and it's getting a cold, humid, it's getting stay moist. Fine.
Yeah, Mother Nature is growing with Randy.
You guys just need someone that barely, some people know a lot about genetics and breeding and stuff. If you had someone just standing there, like guiding your hand this way, or no, don't do that. And like it's an easy thing once you just look at the plants as far as like the pundit squares and how they made it with beans. There's like mathematical equations that you can just put on the computer that then bring you up to that level really fast. Instead of going, oh, there's some people that know about this. No, you can know about this right away. If you tune into what the computer can give you, then everything that you do will come out like your dreams, you know what I'm saying, right? Like instead of leaving it to happenstance or just like, oh, maybe this way. And you're doing that with the seeds and genetics, right? Already? It's like you're
for me,
and you
I'm
rub your
doing
finger.
no-till process for me. Most of the nutrients and everything I've grown already, so I have a basic idea. These new strains, Jamaican style, see how well they take to it. I got the dirt straight from here. I did a mixture with some compost, some manure, all of that. And what I'm feeding them is a compost tea made from all organic materials. The fruits that we have here, the grass from mulch, the manure from goat, rabbit, and the guano, we have all of that natural. So I'm just adding that and just feeding the plants.
And
molasses.
In times when you can't get the new K and S or I was gonna say Kung Fu style, but it's Korean natural style. But they have all these letters that they use, so they're just fermenting stuff. If they just said it out loud, I would be able to understand a lot better. If they're not going LMNO, KLS, and SBY. If you run an SBY, it's the best thing. Yeah. What? Like that could be anything. So I kind of listen to all that stuff. If you've ever drank kombucha, then once you drink kombucha, you kind of get the whole thing. But they're brewing these little.
For me, I made a fermented juice thing with the pawpaw blossoms and some sugar. Just cut the blossoms off the plant, sugar it around, ensure that the sugar is well in there, then pack the layer on top. Compost tea while I was brewing everything, and trust me, I'm seeing a good reception from the plants.
I'm sure the plants will uptake a lot of the terpenes from the fruits and stuff that are in there. I
want that. Anyhow, I get the fruits in. Remember, it's a mixture of fruits, so it's gonna be like a fruit basket tasting thing.
Get some tangerine and we mix it into it.
Yeah, I got the oranges from the Rasta guy.
Yeah.
You know the Rasta guy from
the Kyle Cushman's all about like no poop veganics, which it just plays into plant hormones and how the plant, you find a positive plant that has positive health and growth, that then you can ferment the essence and then get it down. I think it's kind of a primitive extraction process if you think about it. You're making this mat, but then the scobies make the proteins for you, which like they say though, like the key to that though definitely is the time frame. The bacteria happens in 72 hours, they say, and then what you're looking for happens in 48. It's a good statement, because anything, just think about rotten milk. After 3 days, you're not going to touch it. The first day you got to it, it's weird. It's got that whey on the bottom, and you're making cheese.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to me. But man, they have these smelly things that they want to add all the time, and the less smelly is easier for me. Like I buried fish before. The raccoons came and got my plants. If you bury other things animals want to eat, they're going to eat your plants. And then another year, I made it perfect for turkeys to come and steal my plants. So
turkeys. Sorry to cut, but I'm going to draw back into the chat.
Yeah.
With the chat. Jenny just stepped in. Bear Grow, bless up, ready to hit that fire, bless up. A little.
So when we are smoking, we are talking about health, and we had to stay with helping the people that that are injured or whatever. And if you're in a healthcare position, it's all about helping people, and that's what you have to get across anytime people are trying to say you're just a stoner, I guess.
Very, very well said.
I'm going to touch back on Leslie. She said something. I'm going to find the.
Or whatever.
She
and if you're
said the harshness and the harsh realities of this world when her son died in her arms. My condolences.
That is it right there.
That's it right there. That's a punch to the gut. Someone die in your arms. I could not get past that. So the strong people out there, the true warriors, were got through a lot and still fighting the battle. Bless up to everyone and world. Cannabis and it's Ed 1961 just stepped in. We got cannabis, and I said it's to help the people. It's to ensure that what they're getting is the right medicine because this is medicine. Just stepping out in a later anytime. I will be fire spinning for you guys. Go and get the petrol so I can.
I'll be here with him.
Yeah, so we're going fire spin and fire bread. And bless up China Berry. And I said, yeah, that's the thing. Most of the companies nowadays are going to be pushing out some heavy weight. Hopefully, they adhere to that principle that says, you know what? Make sure that the quality is right, not harming the plant and stressing it out and to make it have steroids, make the plant have muscles. Into a ganja plantation, and the plant have flex. May I step out, may I run away.
Alone.
Yeah, right now we're on two sides of a topic. We're talking cannabis and we're talking Las Vegas. I said it pains my heart to see what's going on in this world, and across the world there are people suffering that are being gunned down, that are dying, and we as a race, the human race, are the same. We bleed red, we cry, we laugh, we hate, we know what pain is. Yeah. Some people know what pain is and disregard it, but we know what pain is. Yeah, look into yourself before harming a person or think about it. Would you want this? Try peaceful for those around you.
Yeah.
It's breaking me up just thinking back what's going on. Last night I was frantic, I was losing my mind, I was like to explain it, just wondering if everyone that I know in that state, everyone is okay. And I said, God, that Mr. Sparkswater is okay. God, that the 420 community in Vegas is okay. Bless up to them. Prayers out. You know what? We'll have a moment of silence for not just Las Vegas, but for this world where moment of silence for a change where we can finally unite. It's a moment of silence. Yeah, man. Blessings and guidance to everybody. Bless up from Jamaica. I say, God for everybody within the chat.
Bless up, guys. Cheers.
Sungrown, glad to see you. You freaked me out when you say you were quitting YouTube. I was like, no more Sungrown.
No, man, you know, every now and then I do a little video dump.
Yeah. Just break away from all the...
I'm sorry to freak you out, though, man. My bad. I didn't mean that.
You'll never stop. I can feel you. You're just saying that now. You're just saying that
Listen, next month. What's going on with Sungrown? We need to get to him.
Yeah, but man,
what's he doing?
You always know how to get in touch with me, though, man. Even if it's not on the YouTube, that's the main thing, you know.
Always, bro.
We're also friends off to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I said, I'm glad that I'm getting to know the fellow tubers, just everyone that has shown me support, and
Good to meet you, man.
good to meet you as well. I dropped the link in the chat
Yeah, you too,
again,
Sean.
so anybody that wants to jump in, I said, with my live streams, it's a free for all. We meet, we greet, we talk, we reason,
We smoke some weed.
Man, I hope that
Yeah.
doesn't get you down too much, and I hope you can chant away any of the negative feelings that kind of thing gets you. Because for me, like, I push it away. I'm not saying I overlook the issues. I say I take them on, but I take them on in a positive note and try to not, I try to be nice to everyone, the next few days and everything else, and for the rest of your life. Come on, man. This is like, think about this.
Yeah.
That's true. Bless up chaotic in another place. Man hooked me up with my on my YouTube, bless up chaotic.
No, I'm still here. I'm just sitting here stuck in awe right now about a couple of things.
Of what, man?
Nah, there was a couple of things that just came across my screen, and one of those moments that you just sit there and vibe out and forget that you're someplace else.
Yeah, I understand. You're looking in the chat and seeing what most of the people are saying, because trust me, when I saw that, I said it tore me up inside. But got to have you here on panel, got to have everyone here.
Yeah, but I'm a bounce.
And I'm gonna let this,
you know what I got going on right now. I gotta get that ready.
Yeah, nice chilling with
Sun
you.
Grown, nice meeting you. Sean, nice meeting you.
Yeah, definitely,
bro. That's out to the chat.
Send me just send me the things so I can hop on when I'm through with them.
Yeah, I sure will. I'm trying to hold out until you're done, but the actual setup is going to take me at least like 20 minutes.
Okay, I understand.
All right. It's been great, y'all. I'm out of here.
Right on, dude.
Yo, bless up. Peace.
Be safe out there.
Yeah, Sean, I'm not going to let this get me down. It's just, I'm going to talk about it.
How long have you grown?
For me, been growing for like 3 years.
3 years? I started when I was 16 or 17, and I'm 36 now. So I've been growing for a long time, and I went through.
Yo, send some knowledge over. You know what I mean? We share.
Yeah. Whenever the questions come up, I'll help you. I've just I don't know. Once you know enough, you know not to anger people by sounding like you know everything. You know what I mean?
But at times.
But there's little tips and tricks that I can bring you up to.
He knows it all. Yeah.
Like I wish I was at a third year level and there was someone above me that wanted to say things that they went through that I could avoid, and I would gladly be there for people to do that and consult with people. And I have enough money to travel to certain places too, so I can go for a month or so, a week, a couple days, and actually help someone. It's just how people are actually receptive to a big bearded guy like me, because I'm on autopilot. It'll happen, and then you'll have a good experience with your experience, and it'll build on to the next experience instead of a failure creating a stop or standstill in what could be a success.
That's true. Trust me, with proper guidance, when I started out, I started getting information off of YouTube from girls in the community and also from the internet. People around me also helped that grew before me, knew what worked, because trust me, there are some plants down here that the sun will devour in terms of heat.
Yeah, I had to go to the
some
library.
plants that
I had to learn by know-how. My dad said no information around, nothing like that. We can't have any pot leaves on anything. We might have the whole house taken away. So you learn for the first couple years by growing like you know, whatever seeds that you get, and then after you get the numbers of deaths, you know, it's not how many successes that you have, it's how many beautiful things passed away because you did something wrong that cures you from eating it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that finger process is the first step. Oh man, this smells so good, you know, that smell right there. And then the next is really getting genetics. So you got a really a leg up already by going and rely, you know, taking on your trust and other people that this is going to be what it is. So when
That's true. In Jamaica, we can't really define what gene we get, what strain we get, because most of the what they are selling. So it's like, okay, what you gonna get? I'm gonna get some random Kush. What you having? Random Kush. Your random Kush smells fruity. Mine smells earthy.
So you get seeds. Get 100 seeds then, because you can get 1,000 seeds. You could get 100, right? Plan out those 100 and look for the best and be the most mean to each one. You know what I mean? Like, take out the males, of course. But I'm saying you have phenotype selection. You have phenotype.
Trust me, I do selection. This is some purple skunk, Jamaican purple skunk that I carefully selected. I sent out some to Tricky. They get it. I don't know how long. Sending stuff by mail Jamaica takes
time.
But yeah,
it takes time.
When I did the full research deep and I selected these bad boys, the best of the best, when I plant and once I see the males out, they take out. So let it be a thing because one male devastated a acre crop in Jamaica. Now I play them game there with my little 5 plant that I'm only permitted to grow in my backyard.
Yeah.
So in the chat, Bear Grow says he's been growing for 20 years and still learning. So,
oh man, me, this I hear you.
Cannabis world, you're still learning each day.
Yeah.
I've been in it myself for 17 years. And I'm always picking up new methods. A little tweak here, a little tweak there.
17 years.
Starting out using books and magazines.
Yeah. And you start smoking and see which is good and what feels there. You're like a weed chemist when you start growing your first crop. Okay, got it down. Okay, that because you got all your tools out and you're like, yeah, so delicate.
I took soil classes and purposely went through chemistry classes just because I enjoyed cannabis, and it's paid off.
Awesome.
It's paid off. So I know fractional distillation, and I've been doing the extraction process when Indra first put out how to make the BHO and the alcohol process and dry sift and bubble hash. So every single way I've tried, and I eat a lot of it. I eat a lot of hash, and I eat a lot of I make my own food. So the fear is gone from my body of that high. I don't know how to describe it. Like, I understand how that would happen. If your brain surgery or
oh my God,
but that's out of my body. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Your endocannabinoid system is properly stimulated, is what you're saying.
Yeah. And I've also had the Big Brother experience. Have you ever had like the Big Brother or comedian experience where he's like giving you an Indian burn and a noogie the whole time you're getting high and wanting you to smoke like way too much? Like, I've also had that happen to me. So, like, I'm joking. I'm just saying sometimes there's people out there that will be like, no, you're not smoking enough. No. And then you're like, what was he trying to do to me? You know what I mean? And then you're like, are you only child? Are you like the big brother? You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm the big brother. Oh, okay. Well, he just like he's a bully. That's what's going on.
A big one.
No,
Yeah.
no, he's a good buddy. Because trust me, you know me, nothing so till you sit down in a bonfire, around bonfire, see him back out a chalice. Go to chalice and say, yeah, man, I light it up and I blaze it up and I steam it up. And it go around. And then you see another chalice get pushed out. And as it pass around, it go around. And let up.
And there's the next one who carries up.
Yeah.
And it starts again.
And then you're there like, shit, I'm getting high.
I also think it's like here you're sitting by the fire. We're a grown man. We know we need a fire over here. We know we need food. And you're acting like you've been high since the day you were born, and that's not the truth. You're like 15 or 16 or 17-year-old. Here's your coming to manhood. Sit here and actually get high. Shush, you know what I'm trying to say? And then you beat on a drum, and then you're not. I understand that part of it, like. And then there's the guy that's standing over there that's like supplied the whole party. That's like, dude, they play the same drum beat every time. Every time I come, the same drum beat. So there's like ascension levels to that. So you can tune back out though when you're starting to be a community, and I think that's what actually needs to happen with each one of us in our levels of pompousness or ego or whatever you think you are. When you are in a group of people, that is the best. So you need, like, when we're all joyous together, that's what we're trying to experience, and this cannabis will bring us to that.
What I think that is both extremes. I think there is only one actual recorded posted video on my entire YouTube channel.
I've watched all of them.
Yeah, bro. Good for the sport.
I gotta support my brother.
But yeah, other from that, I just like being going on in your lives. This kind of communication is what's been needed in the cannabis world, connecting us together. I said, anyone that comes into my stream, guess what? You're smoking in Jamaica right now. Tell a friend and say you're smoking in Jamaica.
Yeah, man.
That's a good feeling, man. I had friends from Denmark, and we had this closed loop chat that we do live chats from around 2005. Bubble Man was in there a few times and other people. So I've had this feeling before where you're like, man, I have wanted to get high. At 15, I would get high by myself, and it was the 90s. And I'd think, hey, there's other heads out there getting high just like me. And we're all like coming together in the stoned at the same time, like even like lighting the lighter. You know what I mean? Oh, I feel relaxed from the days, paying taxes, whatever, getting candy bars, whatever you do. You know, feeling guilty that you did nothing. How about that too? Because you just smoke weed. But anyway, no, I'm just saying, like, honestly, it was a feeling of coming together. And then the internet came along, and I was on it since the 90s, waiting for everybody to come around so we could talk like this. Because I went to an educational school that had video chat when I was like 10. They had this when I was like 10. You know what I mean? So it was like, oh, well, you know, but, you know, you didn't like 2 and 2 together. But my dad kept me like grounded on the whole level of like not running around with like a pot leaf on your shirt or being like just stuck in one set of life rules. You have a culture, that makes sense to be part of the culture, but to like not be yourself is just like this weird thing that people do, and then comes out. We weed those people out from the community, and like I've noticed in the cannabis community, between rosin and chemical distillates or whatever, like it doesn't matter like how much you smoke. At some point in time, we come back to a level of who you actually are, and if you're treating me with respect, that's cool. But if you're not, and you're acting like a scientist because you got pressures and heats down, but you can't understand chemical ion breakdowns, there's a little bit of a problem going on. You know what I mean? So like, you don't have to express it in anger though. That's why I come back to the group nature. I'm going to a High Times Cup to have fun and watch things and blah, blah, blah. If I was going to a symposium and I like suppose the like theorem with paperwork, and then I backed it up with like findings from my research, and then you came there really stoned, just acting like none of my shit worked, then you could have some sort of like way to express some sort of frustration with that person. And I see that in the industry and like testing and stuff. But like the two has to come together where like you're also high enough to come off your high horse and not communicate down to people.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's level of mutual respect. Like, have a level of respect for everyone in the community because you all have a voice of opinion that I will listen to. And once you're able to say to me and not attack me, I'll listen. Shit. I'll jot down points. I'll see what you're talking about because everyone has a point of view. Portray that view to others kind of determine what feeling they'll get. As I said, this group mentality, us coming together, it's everywhere in the stoner community. It's everywhere in the world. For me, when I was working at the call center, I had stressful days. I looked like threw me out the building, and while I was falling, they just threw a bowling ball on my head just for additional help. And then when I went on to the Endz with my brethren them, my brother them, oh, we had chat, we had laugh, we had play music, and that was therapy for me. I basically got 4 years worth of therapy in half an hour just by chilling with the people that make life better for me.
Yeah.
And I found internet, I found you guys. I get that in double dosage at home and at the Endz.
So when you're doing the compost, you can make it a constant thing. Like rabbits, if you had rabbits, or if you had I always think of cows as the best like garden maker of all, but like I don't understand like what is the process that makes it so like you guys don't like I know there's devoid soils in these places, but is it a lack of education that people just don't understand how to build soil, that they don't like constantly do that? Yeah.
Lack of education. When I speak about building, people are from doing nuclear physics.
Yeah, they don't understand.
Well, if we're gonna have to go back to like, living, it's like we're going back to the Mayas. So you're gonna have to have a way of processing your food and what comes out of all the animals, which is us, like cleanly, right? So charcoal is the way, and that's how like forests also get destroyed, and then the culture comes down because you're having to build the soil with charcoal and all this other stuff to mend and with the water. And they find that in the Mayans where they have all this charcoal in the soil and stuff, but they don't understand what made them die off. Well, it's a disease because after a while you don't deal with your poop, and then like other people don't believe that, and you have to tell them to wake up with the sun and go to bed with the sun. So you make a Stonehenge. So it's like, look, the sun comes up now, it goes to bed now, you're gonna eat or not eat. You get that, right? You get that if you don't plant food, you will not eat. Like that's like I don't understand. The world's getting warmer, so we're gonna all freak out. What are we gonna do? You're gonna start gardening, right? You're gonna plant foods and like make the dinosaurs come back. So then it goes the other way, or like I mean, are we just gonna go to Mars? I mean, like you can't oil in Mars. You can't make oil here. You know what I mean? Like so, you have to have hydrogen fuel cells and all these other things that people also aren't listening to when you go like. Travel in threes if you went to Mars, like 3 ships, one that would send a garden that would make anything to live on with tools and everything, then it sends you and 1 ship to come back. No one wants to die out there. We're not like you want to send a ship with a human in it and just be like, oh, he's out there to die for us. Woo! Okay, well, soldiers can do that, but they're not. Like, they're not.
Yep.
So we're not.
Heroes do that. Heroes do that because heroes die. That's how a person becomes a hero. They have to die. We don't commend our heroes that have fought in the war. Look at Sungrown. Sungrown is a veteran. I respect him.
Yeah, man.
Solely to the heart.
And at the end of the day, you don't see Sun grown as a hero. I can't go to war. I'll be coming back traumatized. I'll be puffing me, shaking like, did I hear a grenade? Did I hear a grenade? No. That was just watching the machine. Stuff like that does happen.
What I'm really interested in is that Korean farming technique. It's neat how there's this symbiotic relationship that you have with what you're feeding your plants, because you can also use it for yourself.
Want to hear something funny? When Sean was touching
it's so interesting.
Sun-grown.
Soldiers into gardeners, gardeners into soldiers. That's what ninjas are. So I mean, that's a Korean.
Yeah.
And Russia is right
man.
there. We think of Korea as like a Chinese thing or Japanese thing. Well, it has a lot of Russian influence because they stole that area, like this area, about the size of your hand between, you know, and then China kind of uses it as like, oh, okay, since you did that, you can have that situation.
Yeah.
China's
very interesting.
that area, and they got their hands like this. No, they're like, oh, we've planned that's not our problem. You guys are like 7-year-olds. You know what I mean? And it's like, if we can just all come together and understand, we need someone that's like at least acting 71. Like your mind has to be 71. Like, come on, like we have no leaders that have any sort of intelligence to say anything besides, oh, bless you from the clouds above, but something bad happened in the land of sin. Let's go to the football issue, and then back to how about talk about Catalonia, where there's clubbing people on the head because they haven't taught their children not to club people on the head that are elderly because they want to vote out of being in a situation, or like there's all these other issues that you could actually bring up that make it so you don't, I don't know. It's easy to sum up as a parent how you would make people not violent.
That's true. Farming for a bit. Regarding that,
farming seems like a better issue than parenting adult children.
I just don't want to forget this. It's on the top of my mind. And knowing weed, I'm going to forget this. No, it happens. It's not saying that weed is going to make you forget. It's just and my mind goes on to something else, then it just plays with it. The charcoal thing. A lot of the most of the farmers don't really know the significance of what they're doing. I'm walking through farming communities where the charcoal is in. They literally burn coal down here, so naturally some of that is left off. We still do the slash and burn, but we still have that natural coal. The manure and all of that. We have rules regarding the manure for a good week before you have to use it. Get rid of all. They say it will burn up your plant. Of all the amino acids, the uric acids that are still there, so that it's the natural, the nutrients from that you're using, all that nitrogen niceness. So, case where the methods have been used, they have been passed down, but they don't know the significance of it. And slowly, as we're educating, I think those methods will highlight, because I did not know that all of what I had around me could be used so well. We have aloe growing here, bamboo growing here, fruits that just fall off the tree.
So, have you heard of lasagna? Do you eat lasagna? Do you know what a lasagna is?
Yeah, we eat that a lot.
So it's like a noodle and then a cheese and something else and something else. And sometimes it's different, but it's always really good. And, you know, spinach sometimes. Yeah? But it's got that layer, you know? So you picture that happening with your compost, and you can also picture that with your soil. When you're doing no-till, you can make a lasagna level, you know? So if you think of a lasagna and it's easier, you know what I mean? If you communicate certain things that people have in their life that are breaking it down to levels, like you see in a fossil layer, you see the levels of soil, right? You know, it's cool to think that you're adding to one of those. You know what I mean? There's like I mean, you're adding weight too to the earth. Like if you think about it, as a grower, you might be growing a nugget that's so big it's slowing down the earth a little bit, and then you smoke it, and we all like speed back up. You think that?
Yeah.
I mean, I think I only think that, but I know you could think that right now. You know.
Yes, there are times where you're smoking and 5 hours have passed and it's just 5 minutes.
Yeah, we've had those moments.
Yeah. Yeah, with my growing, even my compost, that layer, that lasagna thing, yeah.
Oh, it's green, it's carbon, and then green layer. That's the key to that. So you have brown leaf and then green, and then brown leaf and green, and then worms and vermiculture, right? So all that at the bottom.
Yeah.
And you take care of it every day. And then someday it might get too cold, so you have to redo it. You know, like if you do something wrong, you put eggshells in there, you put too much fat in there, too much grease, it dies off, and then you look around and you go, I hope no one saw that, and you just fix it. You know what I mean? It's your own garden. It's not like you're, I go inside, I'm going to bed and die in a garden. You know what I mean? Like you have to continue on. You know what I mean? Like that's how I feel about it. You know,
Road work is never done. For me, I'm out there every day just inspecting the plants as I grow and taking care of. I have a schedule. In the morning, wake up, go around the back, take care of the plants, come inside, fix up what I need to fix up, be on live if I need to, whatever. In the evening, go back around the back, check on the plants, do a little light watering because I water them early in the morning so that the sun burns them out, burns out everything, dries it up, and just give it a light night so that it still has a little moisture in it, keeps it from the night.
I used to have like a garden trail. So along a trail, I'd have one thing, you know, and then I get to the end where my plants are, you know. So like I've seen the walkabout, you know, that I'm sure you know what I'm saying, where Rasta walks about and he picks his dinner, you know, he picks it one at a time, like I tell or whatever, right? So some of these things got into my head when I was younger, and I listened to a lot of Rasta music, and my kids and my family kind of live that way. As far as like, you know, so they don't know, but I'm saying we are, you know, I and I instead of we, you know, we're all one. So when I communicate to them that we have to have like understanding of art and beauty and connection to life and not just money and growing up to just look and envy and stuff, you know, that's what I've learned from your culture. You know, I thank your culture for that. That you can communicate to your children. What other culture has that in their songs built in? That you communicate to the kids and we bring them up to the level that you're trying to communicate with them, not just pull the wool over someone's eyes, right?
Yeah, because in Jamaica we still have a saying, it takes a village to raise a child. Because it is, back in the day, if I did something wrong, Miss Patsy down the road going reprimand me. Miss Patsy going beat me. As me I go down the road, go to my yard, my home.
Expect the next one.
Expect the next one before I reach my home. And then when I reach my home, Miss Patsy, Mas, Joe, Sister Mary, everybody just tell mommy.
Miss Mavis.
And me I get reprimanded again. I believe in manners, discipline,
love Sister Mary.
That brought up an individual. And once with that and speaking to the youth, that's why even
when my grandpa would say,
younger than me.
I'll take you on this golf course, but you have to have etiquette, you know. So it's a culture thing, and my grandpa taught me too. Hey, if we're gonna go out here and we're gonna hit a ball, it's not just running around and hitting a ball. You're gonna have etiquette. You're gonna go out there, have purpose to what you do, and that's part of. It's a good thing to learn too. Yeah. You know what I mean? But then when you bring it back a notch, if they don't, I don't know. For me, I always like kind of fought authority and then checked them, and if then I find out later on they also were smoking the ganja, it made me change perspective of them a lot because I grew up where my mom was a teacher and my grandpa was a professor, and none of them did that. No, none of them did that. You know, but then when you go to their parties, what are they? Why you smell like armpit? You know what I mean? Like, what is that cloud of smoke coming out from the shed, Dad? You know what I mean? That's like 3 of my teachers. You know what I'm trying to say?
What the smoke?
Oh wait, and then you
Okay.
have these intelligent people like writing laws and like defending the laws in the law area too, and you're like, oh my goodness, this is part of it too. Is like part of it is really being sober enough to like fool other people to think that you're not too. Okay, that needs to come down as a wall too. And like I think, I don't know, legal. That's this strange game we play. You know what I mean? It's just strange.
Look here. That is because they criminalize marijuana, cannabis, weed, ganja, whatever you want to call it. They criminalize this plant and say, if you smoke it, you're a bad person. You're gonna go crazy. You're gonna do bad things. I'm like, oh my God. I don't want to go to jail.
Oh, please.
That's as a kid. Okay, wrong.
The only 2 points that they have is when you grow up very young, and you're going through puberty. When you're going through puberty, you're also learning about aggression and fighting, right? And if you're like, oh, let me cure this depression by smoking this. Let me cure this that I don't have any money for smoking this. And let me cure this for not getting along with this girl because I'm mad at her for some irrational reason. You know, it'll make you not think of the thing and then focus it out of your mind. But that thing can still be there. So like sober moments do pay, you know, like what they're actually saying is, can you, in reality time, when reality goes, you need to do this right now, there's a fire, can you do that still? And if you can't, that's the only point that they have. When reality snaps to you and you have to have a perfect, you can't just kick the ball around all the time. So us older people are saying to you, man, don't just kick around all the time. You're not just kicking these ideas around all the time.
For me, I think
You're not just half meditate. So, right?
Yeah, like for me, there's a thing, there's a time and place for everything. I think with proper education of marijuana, oh, it's bad for you. Say, hey, you can enjoy it. It's gonna do this, but learn a little bit about it, know how to use it, so that when you don't need it, you're doing what you need to do. But when you're just kicking back and relaxing, you can have a joint, you can smoke, you can relax. It will help with your depression. It will help with some good stuff. Track bad for you, and then when you grow up and learn that it's
when
not.
you go to work, though, you all have went to work, and there's always been someone there that has managed to not work at work. You know, they have a sore back, or they're like not working at work. You know, we can all like F off at work, but like the people that are taking pills that pulled their own tooth that are at work and they can't work because they pulled their own tooth, that is the problem that we also have with them, because we're calling them on that. You know what I mean? And as smokers, we're like, wait a minute, you've grouped us in with the like drunk people that can't wake up and that are still getting drunk, the pill people that are having to take 5 to 16 pills to function. Hey, wait a minute, we're making a distinction. You guys are the one, you need a benzo driving test, and you're running a saw. You like saw for a living, boards. That can cut your finger off. You know what I mean? How many pills are you on? Like, what list of pills are you on? So, like, those things are going to come around too, and I think it's a whole, like, I don't know, you got, like, everyone in suits and ties that have a real good way of shuffling the seats in the Titanic as it goes down. So they don't have to, you know, totally deal with it until they can make money off of some spray they spray under your tongue or powder they put in your lungs, which they've created liquefied smoke and powdered cannabis that you can titrate the high, or you can go higher, and not have a level. And it's like, you know, it's new. I mean, it's in Israel.
I just heard about them talking about that on the Dude Grow show this morning. Almost like a powdered substance that they're going to be sniffing, I believe, is what they were saying.
You know, like an inhaler, how they crack the pill and then
lung
issues. Right. The fear though I have is instantaneously then they'll put some steroid along with it or whatever. But I mean,
Right.
the propellant in those is pretty much the perfect solvent. When they talk about solvents all the time, I don't understand why, if you're taking an inhaler, this thing is a propellant and it solves, it holds it and solves it level order. That's the best, and that's probably the thing that people are going to be going to in the future anyway, and probably
Right.
the proprietary gas or whatever that people haven't learned about, without the grease in it, because Teflon grease is sprayable, and that's what you put in your radiators and other things. So what's the mystery greases? It's fat soluble. It's fat soluble into your body, and that's why there's people expressing a concern, because there's people higher up that know that it gets into your body, and your lung is the easiest place, and you're just like wax coating your lungs a little bit, like a rhino lining your lungs. How about that? You know what I mean? But it's kind of strange if someone's saying they're rosin pressing and then they're having issues too with terpene exposure on the lips or drying out or whatever. Maybe there is issues to taking a lot of extracts. Like, I thought of this the other day. What if I create a machine that, I theorize and I test the smoked product of rosin and all the products that we do, not on an animal, but in like a little gel or something. And then it shows what the actual properties of what we're smoking are, and then call it the whatever process I call it. But you know what I mean? Like, why isn't that a rapid process, or is people doing that? It is very easy to do. Because they say the gas spectrometer heats it up to a certain temperature that you wouldn't want it unless you're testing it as if it was smoked. So isn't that the perfect test for testing if it is, smoked or?
Time in this cannabis market, this field, things are coming in. Look at Israel. Powdered weed, like I'm like, wow, interesting. May not try it, but interesting. So over time, the cannabis community is growing, it's advancing. Maybe stepped on, maybe looked on by somebody else, because I said great minds think alike, and there are always great minds in the cannabis world. Sangron is still with us? Looks so, I think. But really, Sean, you hit on a lot of good points, and thanks for that information. Most of it was enlightening to me. Hopefully, everyone in chat.
Hey, I was wondering if you have I like going to the beach, but I don't like the sand all the time. Like, I like swimming, but come on, like, do you have that same feeling? Like, I mean, I like going to the beach, but have you ever had the actual feeling at the beach? Man, this is like just jumping in some water right now. Need to go home. Like, it's cold and like sandy. Like, every time it's a repeatable thing. I grow up because I'm old and I feel that way. But I'm saying there's beautiful places to swim.
Nah,
But
for me, when I go to the beaches here, there are times the water is warm. I ain't gonna lie, you gotta love that truck water. But I don't know, I haven't gone to the beach in a while because of work and where I live now. But the beaches here are awesome. I don't mind the sun, although it gets in everywhere. And it's, to me, it's like my own little moment to relax while I'm just taking in nature. But when it comes down to water, there was a moment in time when I went up to Blue Mountain, I hiked, meditated under the waterfall, and just came back, and really nice feeling to me.
yeah, I went to San Diego in California, and the beach was great, and you jump in the water and everyone else isn't not in the water and you're wondering why. It's like this is really cold, you know, and everyone's like kind of laughing at you, like, I like to come to the beach and just walk my dog, and you know, and they're like, so you're like, ask them where they swim, and it's California. In a pool, silly, what's wrong with you? That water's filthy. And you're like, well, thanks. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
you come out there like, I want to jump in the ocean, and they're like, go ahead, it's cold. There's sea scallops, everything. You're like, oh. I guess that's sort of like how a lot of things are when people are over, you know, it's touristy or something. They're just like, yeah, go have fun, man. I see people want that experience all the time.
You know, honestly, I don't go to like high tourist beaches. There are some free beaches, or some here in Jamaica. And trust me, I'll take the drive, and once I see one, I'll be parking up, jumping in, and just relaxing. Worst scenario I've ever had at a beach here is jellyfish. It was jellyfish season, and I got one right on the chest.
You're an idiot.
I didn't know. I was there, and then I just felt something stinging me.
Yeah.
I just
Piss
started
on it.
screaming.
Let someone piss on it.
No, the piss on it. Come on.
It stung you. They have those in Florida too. It made it so I could not swim. It's like big clear. They're clear, and I don't know. I caught one though. I caught one. Put it in a bucket. You know. Put it back in the water.
Oh, Sunground is having internet issues.
Okay.
This is a blessing to have you here, bro.
Hey, so I have a lake around here, so
Oh,
I have tourism too, and I don't go around that place either. Now that I think about it, it's like it's extra money just to see something you can see without having to spend all that money. It's like everything costs more over there.
Yeah. I'm actually going to finish up. It's been a while we're on. So, Sean, blessing to meet you. It was a blessing to talk with you.
Love your vibe. Seriously, I love your vibe.
Cool, man. Yeah, nice to meet you guys. I'll try to get back on when you're on, and you know, once I get all that, you know, get all my stuff out the probably the first time, second time, I'll be a little more quiet, you know, and just, oh, he knows some of this, he knows my history, so, you know, but yeah. You make me excited because you're from Jamaica, and I want to go there and, you know, give them education if you need help with soil and stuff like that. It'd be really easy for me just to educate the masses, man. You know what I mean?
You here, we grow on the farms and we grow together. Community, we need to come together, share the knowledge, and just share the positive love. It was a blessing having you here. To everyone in chat, to everyone that had stopped by, everyone, blessings to you all. Thanks for tuning in. To the people in Las Vegas, my heart goes out to you. Hopefully you can pass through this tragedy and come together as a country, come together as a people, and ensure that this burden, this can be softened a bit. Trust me, with a lot of people injured, a lot of people dead, we need to look into ourselves now and see where we can make this world a better place with all of this darkness in it. From Jamaica to the world, it was a blessing having you here.
And bless up for watching.
You know, peace out, one love.